Welcome, dear listener, to Whispers of the Night. Tonight, we invite you to step into the serene world of Velly's orchard, the whispering willow's unseen bloom. Find a comfortable spot, let your body relax, and allow the gentle magic of the orchard to guide you into calm and peace. As you drift through winding paths and beneath swaying willows, leave your worries behind and immerse yourself in soft light, subtle fragrances, and the quiet whispers of nature. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Whispers of the Night for more stories that help you unwind, relax, and embrace serenity. Close your eyes, take a slow, deep breath, and prepare to journey into the calm and gentle heart of Velly's orchard. Beneath the whispering willow, you find a small clearing, soft moss underfoot and tiny blossoms shimmering faintly in the moonlight. The unseen bloom begins to glow gently, its petals opening slowly, releasing a soothing fragrance that seems to float into your very soul. The gentle hum of the orchard surrounds you, a subtle rustle of leaves, the soft sway of willow branches, the quiet dance of fireflies. Each breath you take carries warmth, peace, and lightness, allowing tension to melt from your shoulders, your arms, your legs. Your body feels cradled by the earth, soft and supportive, while your mind drifts lazily with the rhythms of the night. Memories and gentle thoughts float to the surface like leaves on a pond, unhurried and calm. You watch the glow of flowers and the flicker of fireflies, noticing every delicate detail, the shimmer of petals, the sway of branches, the faint silver light of the moon reflecting softly on leaves. Your chest rises and falls in harmony with the orchard's quiet pulse. You feel weightless yet grounded, calm yet alert in the gentlest way. The unseen bloom's light fades slightly, leaving behind a soft warmth, a quiet reassurance that everything is as it should be. Let your mind drift further into serenity, feeling the gentle heartbeat of the orchard envelop you, until sleep finds you slowly, naturally, and effortlessly. The whispering willow's unseen bloom. Arrival at Velly's orchard. Evening settles softly over Velly's orchard, the sky melting from warm peach into tender shades of lavender and early night blue. The last rays of the sun stretch long across the rolling hills, brushing the tops of apple and pear trees with a glowing amber shimmer. The orchard seems to breathe in the changing light, branches swaying with a slow, sleepy rhythm, as if preparing itself for the quiet of dusk. The moment feels suspended, delicate, almost sacred, as though the world has paused just long enough to welcome someone who has wandered here for reasons even they may not fully understand. The air carries a gentle warmth, the kind that lingers after a sunny day, but underneath it floats a crisp, refreshing hint of evening coolness on early promise of night. As the protagonist steps onto the winding dirt path leading deeper into the orchard, a small breeze stirs the leaves. They rustle softly, brushing together like whispering silk, filling the air with a calming hush that seems to settle deep into the chest, easing the breath in a way that feels almost magical. The path curves slowly, snaking between orderly rows of trees that stretch far into the horizon, their branches heavy with fruit that glows faintly under the fading light. The protagonist walks with unhurried steps, their pace naturally slowing as the surroundings start to gently embrace them. Each footstep presses lightly into the earth, releasing a faint scent of soil, grass, and ripened apples. Above, small birds flutter from branch to branch, chirping a few final notes before finding their place for the night. Their silhouettes fade into the branches, becoming small, peaceful shadows tucked into leafy nests that the wind shifts against so subtle that it almost goes unnoticed. And with it comes a fragrance unlike anything familiar. It is delicate and sweet, but not in the way of apples or pears. It has no sharpness, no heaviness, no strong bloom-like presence. Instead, it smells like something both wild and gentle, like the memory of a flower rather than the flower itself. It's airy, elusive, drifting in and out of the senses, as if it does not want to be fully caught. The protagonist pauses, inhaling softly, trying to identify it. The scent feels new, yet strangely comforting, as though it belonged to a place visited in a dream long ago. This subtle fragrance seems to trace the air like a guiding thread, tugging the protagonist's attention further along the path. Their eyes lift toward the distant rows of trees, and that's when they notice a particularly large willow standing apart from the rest. Its long, ribbon-like branches sway with the breeze, moving in slow, graceful arcs that seem almost deliberate, almost sentient. Even from afar, it stands out not because of its size alone, but because of the feeling it gives off. Something about this willow feels old, wise, and gently watchful, drawn by a faint tug of curiosity, or perhaps by the unseen fragrance that grows stronger the closer they get. They continue down the path. The ground beneath becomes softer as it transitions from packed dirt to grass. The grass is cool against their steps, its blades brushing gently at their ankles. As they draw closer to the willow, the atmosphere shifts subtly. The wind becomes slightly cooler, the air thicker with the faint, unplaceable scent. A soft hush settles around them, as if the orchard itself is dimming its sounds to make space for a different kind of quiet. The willow looms elegantly ahead, its trunk wide and textured with deep, gentle folds of bark worn by countless seasons. Its branches cascade downward, long strands of leaves catching the last traces of sunlight and glowing faintly like threads of gold woven through green. When the breeze moves them, they rustle in a way that sounds almost musical, not quite like leaves, not quite like chimes, but something in between. It is a whispering sound, smooth and rhythmic, rising and falling as if it carries a message too soft for ordinary hearing. The protagonist steps beneath the outer curtain of the willow's hanging leaves. The moment they do, the world seems to change again. The air inside the willow's shade is noticeably cooler, yet gentle and refreshing, like entering a quiet, hidden sanctuary. The fragrance is stronger here, though still subtle, like a breath of something sweet carried across a dream. The ground beneath the willow is soft, blanketed with moss and delicate patches of moss-tipped grass. Light filters through the leaves, above, dappling the space in golden flecks that flicker with each sway of the branches. It feels peaceful in a way that is almost otherworldly. The protagonist lifts their gaze. The willow's inner branches sway more slowly than the outer ones, moving with a deep, slow rhythm that feels strangely alive. As they listen closely, the whisper-like rustling is clearer than before, rising in soft, melodic pulses that almost resemble a hum. It isn't loud. If anything, it's so quiet that it feels like the mind notices it before the ears do. A gentle, tranquil sound that seems to touch something deep inside, untying knots of tension they didn't even realize they carried. In this moment, the orchard feels larger than it did before, vast, yet intimate, filled with life, yet wrapped in stillness. There is a sense that something unseen is present here, something ancient and gentle and curious, not threatening, not dramatic, just quietly aware. The protagonist takes a slow breath, and as they exhale, their shoulders relax almost effortlessly. The rustling of the willow blends with the soft sighing of nearby branches, creating a layered music of night beginning. Fireflies begin to blink in the edges of vision, tiny floating lanterns awakening as the last strip of daylight fades. They drift lazily between trees, leaving tiny trails of glow that shimmer briefly before disappearing into the growing dusk. Birds settling in the distance offer a few final sleepy notes before silence settles in their places. The orchard's sounds shift, growing deeper and more atmospheric. The gentle chirping of crickets, the faint brushing of small nocturnal creatures exploring the fallen leaves, the soft ripple of the willow's whisper. The protagonist steps a bit closer, reaching a hand toward one of the willow's low branches. The leaves brush softly against their fingers, cool and smooth, moving gently as if responding to the touch. A slight breeze stirs the thick curtain of leaves, and with it comes another wave of the mysterious fragrance, sweet, airy, and calming. It lingers for a moment before drifting away again, leaving behind an urge to follow where it might lead. For a long, quiet moment, they simply stand beneath the willow, absorbing the tranquility that seems to radiate from the tree. The world outside this small circle of branches feels distant, softened by the growing dusk. The orchard stretches out in muted greens and golds, and the sky above deepens into richer shades of blue. Stars begin to appear, faint pinpoints at first, then clearer as night continues its ascent. There is no need to rush. The orchard seems to ask for slowness, for stillness, for presence. The protagonist inhales once more, letting the cool air fill their chest. The scent floats through their senses again, the mysterious fragrance that had drawn them here. One part floral, one part earthy, one part something impossible to describe. It feels gentle, comforting, and strangely familiar, even though they cannot recall ever having smelled anything like it before. They close their eyes briefly, listening. The willow whispers softly, leaves brushing together in a rhythm that sounds almost like breath. When they open their eyes again, they notice the way the branches swaying randomly, but in a slow, graceful pattern that feels almost intentional, as though the tree itself is welcoming them. the distant hills fade into silhouettes. The orchard darkens gently, the final embers of sunlight fading into the horizon. Night settles fully, slowly, like a blanket being pulled over a resting world. And in the center of this tranquil transformation, the protagonist stands beneath the ancient willow, enveloped in its whispering presence, its soothing music, and the gentle mystery of its scent. Without knowing why, they feel that this tree, with its rustling voice and dreamlike fragrance, holds something important, something quietly waiting, something soft and unseen, tucked within its branches or somewhere deeper in the orchard, something that calls to them. And in that moment, Velly's orchard feels not merely like a place, but like a beginning. The whispering willow. The night had deepened over Velly's orchard, settling in like a soft, velvety blanket that muffled the distant sounds of the world beyond its trees. Stars, delicate and scattered, like flecks of silver dust, had begun to pierce the darkening sky, their faint glimmers reflected in the dukest leaves and the stillness of the orchard. The moon hung low, pale and serene, casting a gentle, silvery light that fell in dappled patterns through the long, flowing branches of the ancient willow. Its presence felt almost alive, a guardian of quiet moments and subtle wonders, inviting anyone nearby to pause and listen. The protagonist moved slowly beneath the willow's cascading branches, their steps softened by the thick moss and patches of grass that covered the ground. Each movement seemed to blend seamlessly with the orchard itself, the faint crunch of their shoes barely audible under the rhythmic whisper of the leaves. Finally, they lowered themselves to sit beneath the wide, gnarled trunk, its roots forming natural seats and gentle slopes in the earth. The moment felt sacred, as though the tree itself had carved a place specifically for someone seeking solace, a hidden nook where the ordinary world could be forgotten. Once seated, the protagonist leaned back against the sturdy trunk, eyes tracing the curves of the willow's hanging tendrils. They swayed in time with a subtle, unseen rhythm, moving with a delicate grace that seemed almost choreographed. The branches rustled softly, the sound weaving around them like a gentle melody, each note neither loud nor abrupt, but smooth and continuous, echoing the quiet heartbeat of the orchard. It was as if the willow were speaking in a language older than words, one that only the heart could truly understand. As the protagonist breathed in, the air carried the faint fragrance of unseen blooms, a scent at once delicate and elusive. It was sweet without being overpowering, floral, but with hints of damp earth, a quiet whisper of nature's hidden corners. With each inhalation, their mind felt lighter, tension loosening in a slow, graceful unraveling. Thoughts that had been tangled and heavy began to drift away, replaced by a gentle calm that spread from their chest through their limbs, softening every line of worry, every crease of fatigue. The willow's voice, if it could be called that, seemed to grow clearer. In this quiet space, tiny vibrations in the branches, almost like a sigh, carried a rhythm that seemed to pulse through the very ground beneath them. Each movement and sound was subtle, barely noticed at first, yet persistent, guiding the mind to a state of gentle focus. The protagonist's eyes closed for a moment, allowing themselves to become part of the soft choreography of swaying leaves and quiet night sounds. The branches brushed together in patterns, forming a melody that stirred memories and feelings from deep within memories of sun-drenched afternoons, of quiet walks, of moments when the world had felt like it belonged entirely to themselves. Every rustle of the leaves seemed to unlock a memory, or perhaps more accurately, a feeling associated with one, the warmth of a sunbeam on their face, the subtle scent of earth after a soft rain, the quiet companionship of moments spent alone yet not lonely. It was as though the willow understood not just the physical space, but the internal one as well, speaking in tones that resonated directly with the heart, filling empty spaces with gentle calm. Faint moonlight spilled through the willow's branches, and as it touched the moss-covered ground and the small protruding roots, tiny blossoms began to catch the light. Previously unnoticed, these delicate flowers shimmered faintly, their petals holding the silver luminescence like little droplets of moonlight. They were subtle, not loud or demanding of attention, yet they held an almost hypnotic beauty, drawing the eyes to their quiet, intricate shapes. Each shimmer seemed to pulse in rhythm with the soft sway of the willow, as though the tree itself nurtured their glow. The protagonist leaned forward slightly, observing the blossoms as a gentle breeze lifted a few petals into the air. They floated lazily for a moment before settling again, carried by the unseen currents that wound through the orchard like invisible threads. The petals glinted in the moonlight, creating tiny sparks that drifted across the soft grass, adding to the quiet magic of the night. Even the smallest creatures seemed to move in reverence of this moment. Fireflies blinked their gentle lights in harmony with the moonlit petals, their tiny bodies leaving streaks of gold and silver as they hovered in the air. A sense of warmth began to fill the protagonist, spreading slowly from the chest outward. It was not the warmth of sunlight, nor the heat of a fire, but a subtler kind of sensation that seemed to come from the gentle rhythm of the orchard itself, from the whispers of the willow, from the soft light of the blossoms and the quiet presence of night. It was a calm, nurturing warmth that eased every tight muscle, untangled the knots of lingering worry, and allowed the mind to rest. The air was filled with a gentle orchestra of sounds, the subtle sway of the willow, the hum of insects in the distance, the quiet drip of dew from leaves settling onto the mossy earth. Each sound blended perfectly with the others, forming a continuous, soothing symphony. The protagonists allowed themselves to sink into it, their shoulders dropping, their head leaning slightly against the tree trunk, and their eyes closing once more. Thoughts that had once felt pressing now drifted aimlessly, like leaves floating down a quiet stream, neither rushed nor weighed down. A delicate silence fell over the orchard, one that was full but not overwhelming, leaving space for the senses to explore the beauty of subtle detail. The rustling leaves seemed to create shifting patterns of sound, a soft, flowing rhythm that one could follow without trying. The blossom's faint shimmer continued, reflecting moonlight and casting tiny spots of gentle illumination across the protagonist's features. Even the smallest movements, the twitch of a leaf, the flutter of a firefly's wings, felt imbued with significance. each carrying a quiet magic that drew the mind inward. As minutes or perhaps hours passed in this serene stillness, the protagonist became aware of a sensation of connectedness, as if they were no longer simply an observer, but a part of the orchard's gentle life. The willow seemed to lean subtly toward them, its branches curling in such a way that they formed a soft canopy, protective and embracing. They could feel the slow pulse of the tree, not in their hands or fingers, but as a faint awareness in their chest and shoulders, a rhythm that matched their own calm, steady breath. Their eyes opened slowly, catching the movement of the moonlight across the petals once more. Each blossom seemed to shimmer in a slightly different tone, some pale silver, others carrying hints of soft lilac. The petals moved in response to the breeze, a silent dance that never repeated itself exactly, always new, always gentle. The protagonist's gaze lingered on them, but without expectation or desire, simply observing, absorbing, being present in the orchard. In the midst of this quiet, their thoughts began to drift again, not in rush or worry, but like soft clouds, moving lazily across a wide open sky. They recalled small moments of kindness, tiny acts of courage, fleeting smiles shared in passing. Each memory was accompanied by a gentle feeling of gratitude, a warmth that mingled with the calm that had already settled within them. The willow's whispering branches seemed to acknowledge these thoughts, moving ever so slightly, as if nodding in approval, encouraging the calm, reflective state. Time became difficult to measure in the orchard. The usual markers, sun clock, footsteps were absent. Instead, the protagonist measured the passing by the subtle rhythms of the natural world around them. The sway of branches, the shimmer of petals, the rise and fall of the gentle night air. Each beat was steady, comforting, and slow. With every passing moment, the warmth in their chest deepened, spreading to the edges of their hands and feet, filling the space around them like a gentle glow. They shifted slightly on the mossy ground, adjusting into a more comfortable position, allowing themselves to feel completely supported by the earth beneath and the willow above. There was no urgency, no expectation, only a profound, all-encompassing peace. The protagonist's breathing slowed, matching the rhythm of the whispering branches. Tiny nocturnal sounds continued around them, but they no longer seemed separate or distracting. Instead, they formed a gentle tapestry of night, threads woven seamlessly into the experience of sitting beneath the willow. Each note, every rustle, chirp, and distant call felt intentional, a part of the orchard's quiet story. As they sat, fully absorbed in the moment, their eyelids grew heavy. The last traces of thought softened, becoming nothing more than gentle flutters, like the faintest brush of petals against skin. The willow continued its soft song, steady and comforting. The blossoms shimmered faintly, and the protagonist felt a quiet understanding settle into their heart that this moment, this orchard, this whispering tree was exactly where they were meant to be. It was a place of gentle reflection, of calm surrender, of peace that seemed endless and whole. Every worry, every fleeting concern, every burden had been acknowledged and then eased away, carried off on the rhythm of the orchard's quiet magic. In that space, beneath the whispering willow, the protagonist felt entirely safe, entirely present, entirely at peace, as though the world had condensed into a single, perfect instant of serenity. The night deepened further, and the orchard continued its soft, natural symphony. The protagonist remained seated, leaning slightly against the willow's trunk, eyes half closed. Blossoms lulled them deeper into a state of relaxation and contentment. There was no rush to leave, no need to think ahead. The world was small here, safe and tender, wrapped around them like a soft, unending embrace. Here, beneath the whispering willow, surrounded by glowing blossoms, drifting fireflies, and the cool, gentle air of the orchard at night, the protagonist sat quietly, completely absorbed in the calm, letting their mind float in the soft rhythm of the trees, the night, and the tender magic that lingered in every rustle and flicker of the orchard's heart. The hidden path. After lingering beneath the whispering willow for some time, the protagonist felt a gentle pull toward the deeper reaches of the orchard. The air seemed to shift as they stood, a subtle current guiding their steps along paths previously unnoticed. The scent that had drawn them here lingered, delicate and unplaceable, blending softly with the evening's cool breath. It was neither a sharp fragrance nor overpowering. Instead, it was a quiet invitation, carrying a promise of discovery and the gentle magic that had already begun to unfurl within the orchard's heart. The path ahead was narrow, tucked between tall grass and clusters of trees whose branches interlaced like woven fingers. Moss and soft ferns brushed lightly against the protagonist's ankles as they walked, and the earth beneath their feet felt springy, almost cushioned, like a natural carpet laid down for careful travelers. Each step released the faint scent of damp soil mixed with the sweet aroma of unseen flowers and fallen leaves, adding another layer to the delicate symphony of sensory wonder. As the protagonist moved deeper into the orchard, they noticed the ground beginning to glow softly. Tiny patches of bioluminescent moss seemed to breathe with life, their gentle green light illuminating the path with an otherworldly glow. It was faint, subtle, like the blush of dawn or the lingering afterglow of twilight, but it was enough to guide each step. The moss glimmered underfoot, and as the protagonist adjusted their pace, their shadow danced softly along the illuminated trail, stretching and shrinking with the curve of the path above. Branches from the surrounding trees leaned in slightly, forming a gentle archway that framed the path. The leaves swayed slowly with the lightest of breezes, producing a soft whispering sound that echoed faintly like a distant song. It was a melody not formed of notes or words, but of rhythm and tone, a natural cadence that seemed designed to calm the mind. The protagonist paused occasionally to listen, closing their eyes for a moment and letting the whispers wash over them, each exhale becoming slower, deeper, and more deliberate. Here and there, the occasional firefly hovered in the air, their tiny lights flickering like miniature stars come to life on Earth. They floated lazily, sometimes drifting toward the protagonist, then curving away, guiding the gaze forward along the path. The dance of the fireflies was not hurried, it followed no pattern other than the gentle rhythm of the orchard itself. Their soft glow mingled with the faint bioluminescent light of the moss, creating a gentle interplay of illumination that made every step feel like a slow passage through a living dream. The air grew cooler the deeper they walked, carrying with it hints of floral scents that seemed to rise from hidden corners of the orchard. These smells were faint and delicate, faint petals brushing against the senses rather than demanding attention. Each inhalation brought a quiet sense of serenity, grounding the protagonist's steps while lifting the weight of the world they had left behind. Thoughts that had once buzzed with urgency now floated lazily, carried away by the whispering wind and the rhythm of the night. The path wound gently, curving in subtle arcs, as if it were shaped by the orchard itself, guided by forces unseen but perfectly deliberate. The protagonist's pace slowed further, not from fatigue, but from reverence. Each step taken with care as the subtle magic of the surroundings revealed itself. Small animals, nocturnal and shy, scuttled away quietly as they approached, their rustle of movement barely audible over the soft hum of leaves. Every sound was muted yet meaningful, forming a layered symphony that the protagonist felt as much as they heard. Further along, the protagonist noticed that the trees seemed to part just slightly, forming a natural corridor that beckoned them forward. The glow of the moss became more pronounced here, lighting the edges of the narrow path in a way that felt almost intentional. Shadows danced along the tree's bark, creating soft patterns that seemed to shift and breathe in harmony with the surrounding air. The entire space was alive with subtle, gentle energy, neither overwhelming nor threatening, but serene and coaxing, inviting the mind to slow even more, to sink fully into the quiet enchantment as the protagonist continued. They became aware of the bioluminescent moss growing in clusters along the roots of the trees. Each patch glimmered softly, a faint green pulse that seemed to breathe with the rhythm of the orchard itself. Tiny flowers, previously unnoticed, dotted the moss, their petals faintly shimmering in the gentle light. Some were pale lavender, some soft silver, all delicate, almost imperceptible, yet contributing to a larger sense of wonder. Each bloom seemed to possess a subtle energy of its own, like a quiet heartbeat woven into the fabric of the night. The breeze carried whispers of sound along with the scents of flowers. Leaves brushed against one another in soft arcs, producing tones that were almost musical, almost like the delicate plucking of strings. The protagonist paused for a moment, closing their eyes and letting the sound wash over them. It was calming, almost hypnotic, the kind of rhythm that eased tension without conscious effort. Memories began to surface unbidden, the warmth of sun on the skin during a lazy afternoon, a small laugh shared long ago, the sensation of cool water running over fingers. These memories were gentle, fleeting, and comforting, each one adding to the quiet serenity that seemed to settle around them like a soft cloak. Small creatures moved quietly in the distance, rabbit or two, a hedgehog perhaps, yet even they seemed to respect the magic of the path. Their soft rustling added subtle texture to the night, each sound woven into the symphony of whispering leaves, glowing moss, and drifting fireflies. The protagonist's attention shifted naturally from step to step, observing the delicate balance of light and shadow, the soft movement of nature, and the occasional glimmer of tiny blossoms catching the faint moonlight. The path seemed to stretch uninfinitely, but there was no sense of weariness or concern. Each step felt like a natural part of the journey, a continuation of the rhythm already established by the orchard itself. The protagonist's thoughts slowed even further, drifting gently like leaves floating along a calm stream. Time became fluid, measured not by hours or minutes, but by the cadence of swaying branches, the pulse of light from the moss, and the soft, constant presence of life in the quiet night. At one point, the protagonist paused to observe a particularly luminous patch of moss along a tree's roots. Tiny tendrils of light rose from the ground, curving upward like miniature rivers of glow. The effect was mesmerizing, delicate yet vibrant, and it drew the gaze upward to notice how the branches above seemed to sway in perfect harmony. The subtle bioluminescence cast gentle shadows on the protagonist's face, highlighting their features softly, and for a moment, the world felt like it existed only for this one quiet being beneath the night sky. As they continued, the faint melody of whispering leaves persisted, rhythmic and soothing, its cadence carrying the weight of the night's quiet magic. The moss's glow seemed to pulse in time with their own heartbeat, though not literally. It was as if the orchard itself mirrored their presence in gentle acknowledgement. The path led slowly forward, curving again, and the protagonist felt a sense of anticipation without urgency. They were being guided, but not forced, gently encouraged to follow the unseen trail deeper into the orchard's mysteries. Fireflies continued their quiet dance around them, weaving among the glowing moss and shimmering flowers. Some hovered near the protagonist, their lights casting soft halos over patches of grass before drifting onward. Each movement felt deliberate yet natural, perfectly integrated into the serenity of the hidden path. The air remained cool, but not sharp, scented faintly with the quiet perfume of distant blossoms, their subtle fragrance wrapping around the protagonist like a protective, calming presence. Eventually, the path opened slightly, widening just enough to reveal hints of a hidden glade beyond. The moss grew thicker here, glowing with a soft, inviting light, while small blossoms shimmered faintly in patterns that seemed almost deliberate. Fireflies gathered along the edges of the clearing, their tiny lights creating a natural frame. That drew the eyes forward. The wind shifted again, carrying with it the faint, elusive fragrance that had first guided the protagonist into the orchard, stronger now, as though inviting them to step into a space of quiet revelation. The protagonists' steps slowed instinctively as they approached the clearing, their mind fully immersed in the delicate, magical atmosphere. They could feel the pulse of the orchard more keenly here, the subtle energy of hidden life, the gentle song of the willow in the distance still carrying on the breeze. There was a sensation of being exactly where they needed to be, a place of calm, discovery, and quiet wonder that the world beyond the orchard could never replicate. Pausing at the edge of the glade, the protagonist allowed themselves to take in the full view, a small, secret space bathed in soft moonlight, with glowing moss underfoot and delicate flowers catching the light like scattered gems. Fireflies drifted lazily, completing the scene with soft, floating sparkles. Every sound, scent, and movement harmonized perfectly, creating a sanctuary of stillness and gentle enchantment. Here, the hidden bloom awaited, the quiet promise of something unseen, yet profoundly present. The protagonist took a deep breath, feeling the cool night air fill their lungs and release slowly. Their shoulders relaxed, and a feeling of soft anticipation settled over them, tempered by the serenity that surrounded every sense. The hidden path had led them here, through gentle, winding corridors of moss, light, and whispering leaves. And now the orchard's secret magic was ready to reveal itself in that quiet glade. The protagonist stood poised at the threshold of discovery, the hidden path behind them and the unseen bloom just beyond, glowing faintly with the promise of gentle wonder. Every sensation, the rustling leaves, the drifting fireflies, the glowing moss, the faint floral scent combined to create a slow, calming rhythm that seemed to echo directly in their heart. It was a perfect moment of anticipation and serenity, a soft prelude to the quiet marvel that waited within the orchard's secret heart. The hidden path had delivered them here, not with haste, but with patience, guiding every step in harmony with the night's gentle pulse. And as the protagonist prepared to move forward, a calm certainty settled over them. Whatever lay ahead would not startle, but rather soothe, inspire, and quietly reveal itself to those willing to move slowly, to breathe deeply, and to listen closely to the whispers of the orchard at night. The unseen bloom. At the heart of the glade, the world seemed to hold its breath. The soft glow of bioluminescent moss that lined the hidden path faded gently as the protagonist stepped into a small clearing, revealing a space that felt suspended between reality and dream. Moonlight filtered through the trees above, spilling silver patterns across the grass and illuminating tiny blossoms that shimmered faintly in response. There was a quiet hum to the air here, not audible in words, but perceptible in the skin and chest, a soft vibration that seemed to originate from the ground itself and rise in gentle pulses through the heart. The protagonist moved carefully into the center of the glade, feeling each step sink slightly into the soft moss underfoot. The air carried the delicate fragrance that had followed them along the hidden path, stronger here yet still elusive, like a memory half remembered, floral yet faintly earthy, calm yet energizing. Each inhalation felt like a small revelation, a quiet acknowledgement that they were now in a space that had waited patiently for their arrival. And there it was, the unseen bloom. It began as a faint glimmer in the center of the clearing, soft and subtle, almost as if it had been hiding its own presence until the protagonist approached. Slowly, almost tentatively, the petals unfurled, revealing shapes and colors that shifted gently with the moonlight. Pale lavender merged into soft pinks and hints of silvery blue, each petal seeming to catch the moon's glow differently, creating an effect that was alive yet serene, delicate yet impossibly intricate. The flower's light was not harsh or demanding. It pulsed softly, a quiet rhythm that drew the eye without forcing it. A natural heart of calm at the center of the glade. The protagonist knelt on the soft moss, leaning slightly forward to observe the bloom. Its petals were smooth and almost translucent, each one holding a subtle luminescence that shifted with the smallest movements of the surrounding air. Tiny, dew-like droplets sparkled along their edges, catching both moonlight and the glow of the moss below. Each droplet seemed to vibrate slightly, as if resonating with the energy of the glade, producing a gentle, almost imperceptible chime of sound that blended seamlessly with the whispering branches and soft hum of the night. Around the bloom, other flowers previously unnoticed began to shimmer faintly, their presence creating a delicate halo of light that extended across the clearing. They were small, unobtrusive, yet their subtle glow made the glade feel alive in layers, like a living painting composed entirely of delicate light and soft color. Fireflies drifted lazily among the flowers, their tiny lights bouncing gently across petals and moss, adding movement to the otherwise still scene. The protagonist watched quietly, eyes wide in gentle awe, allowing the slow rhythm of the night to wash over them. A sense of weightlessness began to seep into their chest, spreading softly to their limbs, a calm so deep it felt almost tangible. It was as if each inhalation carried a small portion of the orchard's magic, infusing every cell with warmth, peace, and quiet wonder. The unseen bloom's presence was not overpowering but inviting, coaxing a smile to the protagonist's lips. Without effort, their hands rested lightly on the moss, fingers tracing the edges of tiny petals and soft grass, as if acknowledging the subtle heartbeat of life beneath them. Every movement of the willow's branches above seemed synchronized with the bloom. Leaves swayed, releasing whispers that mingled with the faint hum of the hidden flowers. The petals of the unseen bloom shimmered in response, reflecting both light and rhythm, creating a gentle interplay that was mesmerizing in its simplicity. The protagonist's breath slowed further, each exhale releasing tension, each inhale filling them with the serene energy that flowed from this secret heart of the orchard. It was more than visual beauty. The unseen bloom carried a subtle fragrance, sweet but not overwhelming, a combination of floral, mossy, and soft lunar dew. It clung to the air delicately, enhancing the sense of serenity that had settled over the clearing. Each inhalation was like a slow meditation, a reminder that the world could be gentle, that magic existed not only in spectacle but in subtle, quiet moments, carefully observed. The protagonist leaned forward slightly, observing the intricate folds of each petal. The petals moved gently, as though breathing, and the faint, shifting colors made them appear alive, as though they responded to presence and attention. Fireflies paused momentarily near the flower, hovering close and reflecting their tiny lights on the surface of the petals. The moss beneath their knees felt soft and warm, cushioning their presence, while adding to the intimate sensation of being cradled by the orchard itself. A faint wind stirred, passing through the glade like a soft sigh. It lifted strands of the protagonist's hair, brushed against their cheeks, and caused the petals to flutter just slightly. Each movement was deliberate, yet effortless, a quiet dance that seemed both natural and choreographed by the orchard's own rhythms. The unseen bloom's glow intensified for a heartbeat, then softened again, like a gentle pulse echoing through the space. The warmth that had begun in the protagonist's chest spread outward, filling the space around them with a comforting presence. There was no urgency, no pressure to act or decide, simply being in this moment, observing the bloom, listening to the subtle whispers, feeling the soft air and the faintly glowing flora was enough. It was a fullness that didn't demand attention, but enveloped all senses in quiet satisfaction. There, thoughts drifted naturally, unbidden. Memories arose in soft fragments, laughter shared long ago, the feel of a cool breeze on a summer afternoon, moments of gentle kindness given and received. Each memory carried its own small warmth, adding to the glow that seemed to emanate from the unseen bloom. With every exhale, tension melted further, leaving only the soft pulse of calm, a sensation that resonated through both mind and body. Even the smallest creatures of the night seemed to participate in this gentle ceremony. A small frog rested near the edge of the clearing, its presence subtle, almost imperceptible, yet contributing to the orchard's living mosaic. Fireflies blinked intermittently, their rhythms complementing the soft shimmer of petals and moss. Each sound, the faint rustle of leaves, the gentle hum of nocturnal life added layers to the quiet symphony of the glade, encouraging the protagonist to sink further into stillness. The unseen bloom continued its soft, mesmerizing pulse petals, shifting with subtlety, colors flowing gently, illuminating the clearing in an intimate, magical glow. The protagonist knelt quietly, eyes resting on the flower, hands lightly touching the moss in reverence. It was a moment of perfect balance, delicate, fleeting, and yet profound. A sense of harmony that stretched beyond time and space. Filling every corner of awareness, they reached out a hand instinctively, hovering just above the flower without touching, feeling its energy as something real, tangible yet intangible, a presence that could be felt in the quiet between heartbeats. The air seemed to thrum softly, carrying whispers of wind, rustling leaves, and the subtle vibration of the unseen bloom. The orchard had become a living, breathing companion, one that spoke in gestures, light, and fragrance, rather than words. Time became meaningless. The night moved forward, but slowly, peacefully. The moon shifted slightly, casting new angles of silver across the petals and moss. Shadows danced gently on the edges of the clearing, shifting and merging with the soft illumination of the tiny flowers. The unseen bloom continued to glow, steadily, steady yet alive, a silent pulse in the heart of the glade. The protagonist felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude, quiet and deep. Gratitude not just for the beauty before them, but for the stillness, for the gentle rhythms of nature, for the way the orchard seemed to understand and cradle their presence. Their hands rested gently on their knees, shoulders soft, and a faint smile curved their lips as the final shivers of tension melted completely away. Above, the willow swayed slowly, its long tendrils brushing the edges of the clearing, mingling with the glow of the unseen bloom. Each movement was deliberate, soothing, and deeply connected to the pulse of the night. The protagonist inhaled the soft fragrance of the flower again, feeling it fill their senses completely, grounding them in the serene magic that now surrounded every breath, every heartbeat, every thought. For the first time, in what felt like a long while, the protagonist allowed themselves to simply exist, completely absorbed by the orchard, the hidden glade, the unseen bloom, and the gentle rhythms of life in this secluded world. There was no hurry, no expectation, no urgency to leave. The moment stretched infinitely, a slow, deep breath of serenity that seemed to settle into the very core of being. The unseen bloom shimmered faintly, petals opening and closing in a gentle rhythm, responding to the presence and attention of the protagonist. Tiny blossoms around it reflected its light, flickering like stars on Earth. Fireflies drifted in lazy loops, their tiny lights adding movement and delicate sparkle to the peaceful tableau. Every sense was engaged yet calm, every breath in harmony with the gentle pulse of the orchard. The warmth in the protagonist's chest expanded, soft and encompassing, a quiet inner light that mirrored the soft glow of the unseen bloom. It filled their fingers, toes, and limbs, reaching outward to mingle with the cool night air. There was a sense of being fully at home in the world, of being embraced not by walls or structures, but by quiet magic, patience, and nature itself. Time remained fluid, measured by the slow pulse of petals, the rhythm of leaves, and the subtle dance of fireflies. And as the protagonist knelt in quiet wonder beneath the whispering branches of the willow, observing the luminous unseen bloom at the heart of the glade, they understood something profound. Some beauty, some magic, some peace is revealed only when one slows completely, listens fully, and allows the world to unfold without interference. Here, at the center of the hidden glade, with the unseen bloom radiating soft, gentle light, the protagonist felt complete stillness, a perfect harmony that lingered in every part of the body, every corner of thought, and every quiet corner of the heart. Night in the orchard. The glade had settled into a quiet rhythm as night deepened over Velly's orchard. The unseen bloom at its heart continued to shimmer softly, petals gently shifting in faint waves of color, casting a delicate glow across the clearing. The air was still but alive, carrying the subtle fragrance of flowers and moss that had become familiar over the course of the protagonist's journey through the hidden path. Each inhalation was a balm, infusing the senses with calm, grounding every thought in the serenity of the orchard. The protagonist moved slowly away from the bloom, letting the soft glow illuminate their steps as they made their way toward a patch of grass beneath the willow. The ground was cool and comforting underfoot, cushioned by moss and small tufts of wildflowers that bent slightly as they walked. Here, the moonlight poured through the swaying branches above, scattering silver patterns that danced gently on the grass. The scene was quiet yet dynamic, filled with subtle movement, soft sounds, and the faintest hum of life. They lowered themselves onto the soft bed of grass, settling in with care. The moss felt springy beneath their weight, cradling them as though the orchard itself had prepared this quiet resting place. A gentle breeze stirred, brushing against their skin and lifting loose strands of hair. The willow's branches hung protectively around the clearing, swaying slowly, producing the familiar melodic rustle that had first drawn the protagonist to the orchard. It was a lullaby of sorts, soft and continuous, soothing without demanding attention. They glanced upward, watching the stars peek through gaps in the willow's long, flowing branches. Each star seemed to pulse, faintly mirroring the gentle shimmer of the unseen bloom they had left behind. The subtle rhythm of the orchard, the swaying of branches, the soft call of a distant night bird, the occasional rustle of small nocturnal creatures created a perfect symphony of quiet life. Every sound felt intentional, carefully measured to encourage relaxation, to slow the mind and guide attention inward. Their hands rested lightly on the grass, fingers tracing the contours of moss and tiny blossoms. The soft petals and blades felt cool against their skin, each touch a small connection to the life all around them. Fireflies drifted lazily through the clearing, their gentle lights flickering like stars fallen to earth. They hovered near the protagonist for a moment, illuminating the folds of their clothing and the gentle contours of their features, before drifting away to continue their quiet dance. The protagonist's thoughts began to drift naturally, unbidden and soft. Memories surfaced, not in urgency, but like leaves floating slowly down a calm stream. The warmth of sunlight on a lazy afternoon, a gentle breeze brushing through hair, quiet laughter shared with someone long remembered. Each recollection brought a gentle warmth, spreading softly through the chest and limbs, mingling with the calm of the orchard to create a sensation of total serenity. Every inhalation carried the subtle scent of the unseen bloom, mingled with the earthy fragrance of moss and grass. It was delicate, almost imperceptible, yet pervasive enough to wrap around the senses. With each breath, the protagonist felt lighter, their body relaxing into the earth beneath them. Shoulders dropped, hands softened, and the tension that had clung to muscles over days and weeks dissolved like mist in the morning sun. The grass beneath them, dotted with tiny, glimmering flowers, seemed to form a gentle cradle. The willow's long, flowing branches brushed softly against each other in the night breeze, creating a continuous, calming rustle. The firefly's glow mingled with the moonlight and the faint shimmer of petals, casting a natural mosaic of light and shadow across the clearing. The scene felt alive, yet still, dynamic, yet perfectly tranquil, a delicate balance that coaxed the mind into gentle, meditative awareness. The protagonist shifted slightly, lying back more fully against the soft ground, letting the moss support their weight. Their gaze wandered over the subtle movements of the clearing, the gentle sway of branches, the soft flicker of firefly lights, the faint shimmer of tiny blooms scattered across the grass. Each element felt connected, forming a delicate web of life and calm that seemed to pulse in time with the beating of their own heart. The warmth in their chest deepened, spreading slowly to every finger, every toe, and along the limbs. It was a glow that originated from the quiet magic of the orchard itself, infused into the night air, the soft moss, and the whispering willow. The protagonist allowed themselves to sink into it, feeling fully embraced by the gentle pulse of the glade. Each exhale released lingering thoughts. Each inhale drew in serenity, creating a slow, harmonious rhythm that resonated through body, mind, and heart. Small nocturnal creatures continued their quiet activities in the distance, yet their presence was unobtrusive, adding texture rather than distraction. A rabbit paused briefly at the edge of the clearing, ears twitching before hopping softly into the shadows. The soft rustle of a hedgehog navigating the mossy undergrowth reached the protagonist's ears like a delicate percussion, blending perfectly with the rustle of leaves and the faint hum of the unseen blooms. magic still. Lingering in the glade, the protagonist closed their eyes for a moment, feeling the gentle sway of the willow above them. Its long branches brushed softly against the ground and one another, producing a melodic whisper that intertwined with the other subtle sounds of the night. It was a lullaby, soft and continuous, unhurried and never repeating, each note unique yet perfectly connected to the rhythm of the orchard. Their breathing fell into perfect harmony with it, slow, deep, and deliberate. Time became fluid, irrelevant. There was no sense of hurry, no need for thought or action, only the present, the gentle rustle of leaves, the soft glow of scattered petals, the drifting dance of fireflies, and the cool yet comforting night air. The protagonist's body relaxed further into the grass, allowing each blade and bloom beneath them to cradle and support their form. They felt weightless, yet grounded, embraced by the quiet magic of the orchard, the unseen bloom, and the whispering willow. Memories continued to drift lazily through their mind, gentle fragments of times past, the soft brush of rain on a window, the warmth of a comforting hug, the distant echo of a familiar laugh. Each memory was accompanied by a quiet sigh, a release, and a small flutter of warmth. There was no sadness, no longing, only the serene acknowledgement of experiences once lived, now softened and calm, merging seamlessly with the quiet magic of the orchard. A firefly landed briefly on a nearby blossom, its tiny glow illuminating the edges of petals and blades of grass. The protagonist's eyes followed it, then drifted closed again, letting the faint light dance across their eyelids. Every element, the light, the sound, the fragrance, the textures beneath them worked together to lull the senses deeper into calm, a gentle passage toward rest that felt effortless and natural. The protagonist shifted again, turning slightly onto one side, their head resting lightly against the mossy ground. The willow's branches curved around the clearing protectively, their gentle sway creating a quiet, rhythmic motion that seemed almost alive. The moonlight filtered through the leaves above, scattering soft, silvery patterns that shifted slowly across their face and body. Fireflies drifted past intermittently, adding fleeting sparkles of light, while the faint glow of tiny blossoms provided a soft, ambient backdrop. A gentle, almost imperceptible warmth enveloped the protagonist. It radiated from the unseen bloom they had left behind, mingled with the subtle pulse of life in the moss, the grass, and the willow. Each breath carried the orchard's calm deeper into their lungs, spreading serenity to every part of the body. Their eyelids grew heavier, the muscles of their face and shoulders relaxed completely, and a sense of soft surrender filled them. The stars above, reflected in the faint shimmer of petals and moss, seemed to twinkle in gentle rhythm with the protagonist's heartbeat. The willows swayed above, the fireflies drifted lazily, the moss glimmered faintly beneath, and the protagonist lay fully immersed in the quiet life of the orchard. Each sound, each movement, each faint shimmer of light formed a harmonious composition that invited slumber, slow and natural, without demand or pressure. The warmth of the night and the soft rhythmic whispers of the willow combined to create a profound sense of security. The protagonist's mind wandered one last time through tiny fragments of memory and soft, imagined thoughts. A slow walk through the orchard, the gentle sway of branches, the pulse of life in the smallest details. Each mental image, each sensation, furthered the sense of peace, weaving a gentle cocoon of comfort that wrapped around them completely. And so, the protagonist drifted, slowly, gently, into sleep beneath the willow, cradled by moss, surrounded by glowing blossoms and drifting fireflies. The orchard breathed around them, alive in its subtle magic, yet never intrusive, holding them in quiet embrace. The unseen bloom's soft glow lingered nearby, a subtle reminder of the gentle wonders of the night. The wind whispered through leaves, fireflies blinked intermittently, and the stars twinkled above, all forming a delicate symphony that accompanied the protagonist into the first stages of a dreamless, restorative rest. Here, in this hidden glade, under the protective sway of the willow, with the moonlight painting the grass and blossoms in silver, the protagonist's body and mind finally surrendered completely. The orchard had guided them through night's gentle magic, through hidden paths and luminous flowers, into a place of absolute calm. Every sense was soothed, every thought softened, every worry faded, and in that delicate, harmonious silence, they slept fully at peace, held in the orchard's tender, slow embrace. A gentle farewell. The first pale tendrils of dawn began to stretch across the sky, painting Velly's orchard in delicate shades of gold and soft pink. The night's hush had softened into a quiet, early morning stillness, where the faint hum of the unseen bloom and the rustle of willow branches had given way to the subtle stirrings of a new day. The moon's silver glow faded slowly as the sun's gentle warmth began to filter through the orchard, casting long, slender shadows across the winding paths and highlighting the tender shimmer of dew upon each blade of grass. The protagonist stirred lightly on the soft moss beneath the whispering willow, feeling the cool touch of the morning air brush against their cheeks. Their body had been cradled by the earth throughout the night, and a profound sense of serenity lingered, stretching into every limb. Each breath carried with it the faint perfume of flowers and moss, a gentle reminder of the magic that had guided them here. They blinked slowly, eyes adjusting to the first light, and watched as the orchard awakened, each movement deliberate yet delicate, as though the world itself was hesitant not to disturb the peace. As they rose, the protagonist felt the lingering calm of the orchard within them. Each step was slow, unhurried, and carefully placed along the dew-kissed grass. Their fingers brushed lightly over the soft moss and petals of tiny flowers, feeling the faint warmth left behind by the night. The gentle sway of the willow above and the subtle rustle of leaves created a comforting rhythm, as if the orchard were saying goodbye with a soft, understanding murmur. Every element of the morning carried a quiet magic. The air was cool, yet filled with sunlight's first warmth, carrying with it the delicate fragrance of unseen blooms and the gentle earthiness of moss and soil. Fireflies lingered briefly, flickering softly as if reluctant to leave the clearing, while small birds began their tentative morning songs, adding a bright, melodic layer to the symphony of gentle light and soft sound. The protagonist paused to listen, inhaling deeply, feeling the calm of the orchard expand into their chest and limbs, filling every corner of awareness with serenity. They glanced back at the whispering willow, noticing the subtle sway of its long branches. In that motion, there was an almost sentient acknowledgement, as though the tree understood the protagonist's presence and the journey they had completed. The soft rustling of leaves produced a melody that mingled with the faint hum of bioluminescent moss and the delicate aroma of flowers, a symphony composed not by hands but by the orchard itself. The protagonist's lips curved into a small, grateful smile, feeling as if the willow were a gentle companion, nodding in quiet farewell. Their path through the orchard was now illuminated by the first golden rays of morning. Each step revealed subtle details previously unnoticed, delicate patterns of dewdrops on leaves, the faint shimmer of petals catching the early light, the way fireflies' lights slowly dimmed as the sun rose, leaving traces of sparkle like forgotten memories. The air felt alive, yet profoundly calm, filled with the gentle energy of growth and renewal, as if the orchard itself were a living, breathing entity that had watched over them through the night. The protagonist's hands brushed softly along the trunks of trees as they walked, feeling the texture of bark, the coolness of the morning, and the subtle pulse of life that had become almost tangible throughout their time here. Tiny flowers, shimmering faintly in the morning light, seemed to nod in quiet acknowledgement, their soft colors blending with the warm golds and pinks of dawn. Each step was deliberate, a silent communion with the orchard's gentle presence, allowing the serenity to settle more deeply into their mind and body. A soft breeze carried the orchard's fragrances, weaving together the scent of the unseen bloom with the subtle aroma of moss, dew, and distant blossoms. The protagonist inhaled slowly, letting it fill their chest, arms, and legs, grounding them fully in this quiet, magical moment. Their thoughts drifted gently, unpressured and calm, recalling the journey through hidden paths, the shimmering moss, the whispers of the willow, and the glow of the unseen bloom. Each memory mingled seamlessly with the present, forming a layered sense of peace and gratitude that radiated outward from the heart as they reached the edge of the glade. The protagonist paused, looking back once more at the heart of the orchard. The unseen bloom shimmered faintly, a soft pulse of color in the early light, a reminder that some beauty existed quietly, not demanding attention but waiting patiently for those willing to notice. Fireflies lingered around its petals, their tiny lights still flickering softly, as if honoring the calm and reverence that the protagonist had carried throughout the night. The sun climbed gradually higher, painting the orchard with warmer tones. Shadows of branches shifted across the paths, revealing hidden corners of moss and tiny blossoms. The protagonist felt the soft weight of morning settle around them like a gentle shawl. Each inhalation, each step, each subtle sound of life in the orchard reinforced the quiet knowledge that this space existed to soothe, nurture, and awaken wonder in all who wandered its paths. A gentle smile graced the protagonist's lips as they began to move toward the path leading out of the orchard. The morning light caressed their skin, and the soft fragrance of flowers lingered in the air, wrapping around them like a protective, comforting embrace. The path was familiar now, lined with glowing moss patches that had dimmed slightly in the sunlight, fireflies fading and willow branches swaying in a rhythm that felt like a farewell song. They walked slowly, savoring the sensations of the orchard, gentle pressure of moss beneath their feet, the soft hum of leaves. Each moment was drawn out, unhurried, yet filled with vivid life, a perfect balance of motion and stillness that mirrored the calm they carried within. The orchard's magic had become a part of them, quiet and unobtrusive, like a small pulse. In the background of their awareness, reaching the edge of the orchard, the protagonist paused once more. Their gaze swept across the trees, the gently swaying willow, the glimmering moss, and the fading glow of the hidden bloom. A deep sense of gratitude filled them, not just for the night spent within this magical sanctuary, but for the calm, serenity, and gentle wonder that the orchard had bestowed upon them. They felt renewed, carrying with them a quiet inner peace that would linger long after the final steps out of the orchard's embrace. The breeze shifted slightly, brushing the protagonist's hair across their face, carrying the faint, lingering fragrance of flowers. Leaves swayed as if in acknowledgement, and a distant bird sang a soft note, a delicate punctuation to the gentle rhythm of the morning. The protagonist inhaled deeply, letting the sensation fill their lungs, chest, and limbs, grounding every part of their being in the soft magic of the orchard. With a final glance at the whispering willow, the protagonist smiled and continued along the winding path leading out. Each step felt lighter, freer, buoyed by the calm and serenity they had absorbed during their time in the orchard. The faint glow of the unseen bloom and the soft shimmer of moss receded behind them. Yet the warmth of the orchard remained nested. Gently within their heart, the morning deepened, the sun climbing higher, and the orchard's gentle magic continued its quiet work, even as the protagonist moved further from the glade. Each step carried them forward, yet each step was still infused with the serenity they had absorbed, the rhythmic sway of willow branches, the soft shimmer of petals, the delicate dance of fireflies, and the faint, sweet fragrance of hidden blooms. The orchard's gift was subtle but enduring, a quiet reassurance that magic, wonder, and calm could exist, waiting patiently for those who sought it as they emerged fully from the orchard. The protagonist's senses were alive with gentle impressions, the warmth of sunlight on their skin, the soft weight of moss and grass beneath their feet, the distant rustle of leaves, and the faint hum of life continuing unseen. They walked slowly, carrying with them not only the memory of the unseen bloom and the hidden paths, but also the profound sense of peace that had settled deep within their being. The orchard receded behind them, yet it remained alive in memory and heart. Each inhale, each exhale, each subtle sense of touch or sound carried a whisper of the orchard's calm. The protagonist knew that, though they were leaving the physical space of Velly's orchard, the serenity, quiet magic, and gentle rhythm of the hidden glade would remain within, ready to be recalled with a thought, a memory, or a breath. And so the protagonist moved forward into the day, carrying the quiet gift of the orchard, gift of patience, calm, and wonder of unseen beauty, soft fragrances, and subtle light. Every step was lighter, every breath deeper, every thought gentler. The path beyond the orchard might be filled with ordinary sights and sounds, yet the inner world of the protagonist was now touched by the extraordinary serenity of a place that existed just beyond ordinary perception. a world that whispered of calm, magic, and the unseen bloom that had opened its petals just for them. Here, at the edge of the orchard, with the gentle sway of the willow fading behind, the protagonist paused one last time. The morning light spilled across the grass and moss, illuminating the subtle glimmers of petals and leaves. The unseen bloom, now just a soft shimmer in memory, seemed to radiate its calm outward, settling into the protagonist's heart. They inhaled deeply, savoring the warmth, the fragrance, the gentle hum of life that surrounded them, and carried it all forward into the waking day. With a soft sigh, the protagonist turned fully toward the path ahead, stepping lightly, their spirit lifted and their heart at peace. Velly's orchard had whispered its secrets, offered its unseen bloom, and imparted a gentle gift, the quiet, enduring magic of calm, wonder, and serene inner peace, ready to accompany them through every moment yet to come. The sun begins to rise, painting the orchard in soft golden light. The whispering willow sways gently, bidding you a quiet farewell. Carry the calm of Velly's orchard in your heart throughout the day. Remember the soft glow of the unseen bloom and the gentle hum of nature. Sleep peacefully and return whenever your soul seeks